What a world. I'll tell y'all a little story today. So, back in my scoundrel days, we're going to talk about a free cup of coffee and what a free cup of coffee did for me at a really hard place in my life. So, I was living in Austin, Texas at the time. Me and my wife had just gotten married, but I was dumb. I got into an altercation with a police officer and I got myself on probation. So all you young guns out there, I'm telling you, man, you want to live above reproach, meaning you don't want to give anybody a reason to hold something over you, especially people who have authority in the eyes of the law of the land. And you can put that into whatever context you need to, apply that to your neighborhood, your culture, your skin color, whatever. In my personal circumstance, if I'd have had a different skin color, I probably would be dead. Just straight up. All right. And that's on me. And I'm learning from it and I'm sharing with y'all, like, live above reproach. Cross your T's, dot your I's, stop trying to live against everything and fight against everything, and don't give people a reason to come at you. That way you can just spend your time and your energy doing the work that you're supposed to be doing. All right. So anyway, because of that, man, I had a real hard time getting work. I couldn't, I had qualifications. I had a couple of degrees. Without that hanging over my head, I could have gotten a really high paying professional position, for that point in my life. But I was on probation, so any real career options, any real company wouldn't take a chance at me, because when they ran my stuff through to do a background check, they're like, oh, you got this on your record right now, and we can't fool with you until that is cleared. Okay, so I ended up having to do contract work, having to do day labor. I mean, shoot, there was about a year where I was having to go donate plasma just to have enough gas money to commute back and forth to the little jobs that I had at the time. So we was living down on the east side of Austin, Texas, back when the east side was the east side. So those of y'all who were there in those days and have been around a minute, y'all know what I'm talking about, when the east side was the east side, not like it is now. It was rough, just say that. There's a little coffee shop that a friend of mine told me to go to that was about a block from our apartment. All right, and this family owned and ran that little business there, this little coffee shop. It was the White family. So the Whites, aka the Bare Naked family, man. Any of y'all whites, if y'all are watching this, it's Monk. You might not remember me, but I'm just shouting out to y'all because y'all were the real deal Holyfield, man. And you would go in there and there was just such a presence of love, a presence of warmth, and these people got it. And I would come in there and I would go in there and just sit, man, just to soak up the atmosphere, read. And one of my big deals, I like to people watch, and I like to just see who's coming in and out of the community. And I would come in there and I would just sit. I didn't have a buck to buy a cup of coffee. Literally every dollar I had was going towards putting gas in my car so I could go to work, so I could have enough money to keep the lights on at that point in time. So Mr. White, one day, I'm just sitting there. He's like, hey, man, you come in here every day. Let me buy you a cup of coffee. And for a second, I was about to be proud, and I was about to be like, no, man, I'm just chill. I'll get it when I want it. He's like, no, let me buy you a cup of coffee. He hands me a cup of coffee, and we start talking. And every morning when I would come in there, he would get me a cup of coffee, never charge me for anything. All right. And it was as if he was saying, as if God was saying to me, man, you have a seat at the table. Right. And so I think back to that, how these people that were strangers running this business were being the hands and feet of God to me, and they didn't even realize it. Just through a simple gesture of, let me buy you a cup of coffee. And I would sit there and I'd listen to them talk, and they were having a hard time making ends meet, because it was husband and wife. They had 3 kids, and those 3 kids were grown, graduating high school, and they didn't, they could have used that $3 a day that I could have given them for that cup of coffee. But instead, just that little extension, that offer of grace towards me has left such a huge impact. So I want y'all to do me a favor, do me an exercise, kind of put the rewind over the screen, over the movie of your life, and I guarantee you can find an instant where somebody was the hands and feet of God to you in a small way or a big way. So when you're out and about in your walk, don't negate and don't hold in low esteem those small actions of kindness, those small actions of grace that you can offer to other people, because you might be being the hands and feet of God to somebody else, and they might not even know it. Because here I am 10 years later talking about these people who probably don't remember my name, probably don't remember my face, and probably don't even remember, and probably didn't even realize at the time what a big deal buying me a cup of coffee was. So y'all remember that. It's Monk. Peace and blessings to you from the Most High. Out.
Calm down now to keep it real. Open up your chest and you learn how to build. A big bleeding heart go thump, thump, thump. And a big old love, that's how you overcome. Lock, slip, calm down now to keep it real. Open up your chest and you learn how to build. A big bleeding heart go thump, thump, thump. And a big old love, that's how you overcome. Tick, tick, we wishing. A talk, them snakes is hissing. Crocodile comes